Hi LEGO fans! Those wizards from Denmark have done it again! We've got a LEGO set that weighs a little bit more than a newborn child, and probably costs more as well. Like many LEGO fans, I've always dreamed of building a LEGO roller coaster, and LEGO made this dream a reality back in November 2017 with the Joker Manor. That set was pretty awesome, but it came with the promise that we would see other roller coaster sets in the future. There is a smaller set aimed at younger builders coming up, but today we're covering the big one. I'm going to be unboxing, speed building and reviewing set number 10261, Roller Coaster from LEGO Creator Expert. This is a huge set with an enormous amount of pieces, a very large box, and a price tag that's going to put your bank manager into an early grave. The box is the same size as the one that came with the Disney Castle, Ninjago City, and some other sets. And the price tag? Well, if you've got $400, you'll probably have enough change to get the kids a McDonald's on the way home. The image on the box doesn't really do this thing justice. It's absolutely huge, and I can see a lot of people having to rebuild their LEGO cities around it. But what a set! The part count weighs in at an impressive 4,124 pieces, but the main attraction for adult fans of LEGO are going to be the 7 different types of track. The part count also includes 11 minifigures, we've got a cotton candy vendor, 2 ride attendants, 2 grandparents with their granddaughter, and 5 riders. 8 of these minifigures also feature alternate expressions so they can display different emotions, and I can imagine some of those emotions are going to be very funny indeed. Flipping over to the back of the box is a real challenge for the muscles, but it also gives us a chance to take a look at some of the finer details of the set. We've got a height measuring gauge to keep our younger riders safe, but I don't think this guy's granddaughter's going to get on the ride today, and that's probably a good thing because she's not going to be able to sit in the seat with those non-bendy legs. As expected, she did not make it past the ride attendant, but at least Grandad managed to turn that frown upside down with some cotton candy. There's also a juice bar, somewhere to buy ride photos, and a map of the amusement park. You didn't think you'd just get away with buying a roller coaster, did you? There's a braking mechanism to control cars leaving the station, a hand crank to turn the chain which pulls the roller coaster car to the top of the hill, and if $380 wasn't enough, you can also buy a motor to power the chain. This is a bit of a no-brainer, and you really do need to bake this into the price. We also get confirmation of the set's dimensions, showing this set to be almost 3 feet long and 2 feet high. That's big! I'm super excited to get this built, but I think we're going to be here for the long haul. My best guess is we're looking at about an 8-hour build here. So let's open up this enormous box and see what we've got inside. As is often the case with these very large sets, we've got boxes within boxes. Here's everything that came inside the box. We've got about 40 bags of LEGO numbered for stages 1 through 11. Another 7 bags of LEGO containing base plates and track pieces. 2 instruction manuals totaling 438 pages. And the obligatory sticker sheet. I've got a team of helpers standing by, and we're going to go ahead and build the LEGO Creator Expert roller coaster. This is a really big set, so today we're going to do a 3-minute speed build. the completed LEGO Creator Expert roller coaster in all its 4,124 piece glory. I estimated this was going to take about 8 hours to build, and it actually took 7 hours and 12 minutes. So not a bad guess. However, getting the mechanism running smoothly on this thing is not an easy task. It does warn you in the instructions not to tighten up the gears too much, and boy oh boy, they were not kidding. I probably spent about 3 or 4 hours troubleshooting this thing, taking bits apart and then reconfiguring the chain. Yes, you can follow the instructions, but there's no guarantee this thing is going to work perfectly, which in a way is good because it forced me to take a detailed look at the roller coaster and really understand how it works. In this review, we're going to demonstrate the roller coaster and show you all of the fun elements that come with it. But before we get into too much detail, let's see it working. Pretty cool, huh? What we've got here is a pretty simple Big Dipper style roller coaster. The train starts its journey in the loading and unloading area, and this is where we have the 3 controls that work all of the functions of the roller coaster. There's a wheel at the front that can be released or applied. The main purpose for that wheel is to act as a brake for the roller coaster car. We've also got a crank at the front here which turns the wheel to advance the car. So in normal operation, it's really easy to stop the car at the station so we can swap out the passengers. If you don't want the car to stop in the station, you simply retract the wheel. So how does all this work? It's a lot easier to show you with the help of a medium LEGO motor and a couple of batteries. With the chain running, you can see how it picks up the car at the bottom of the hill and carries it all the way to the top. Once the car gets to the top of the hill, this is typically when gravity kicks in and does the rest of the work. But it didn't work out quite like that for LEGO. You might notice a lot of gears and wheels at the top of the roller coaster. Now, last time I went on a Big Dipper, there was none of that over engineering. So instead of the roller coaster car taking a gentle ride assisted by gravity towards the big drop, we have a load of mechanical engineering designed to solve that problem. The problem, of course, being that the bend at the top of the hill is flat. Allow me to demonstrate. Notice how each one of those wheels in turn grips the roller coaster car and pushes it forward. This requires some very complicated mechanics. You'd expect that when the enormous chain reaches the top of the hill, it just turns around and goes back down again. But instead, we've got a gearbox used to transfer that energy into the mechanism at the top of the hill. All of this is powered by the same hand crank or motor that we have at the bottom of the build. As the chain reaches the top, it transfers its energy into those 2 little gears you see on the side. This energy in turn is transferred via 2 crankshafts to the first wheel and the second and third wheel. This long crankshaft here takes the energy to wheels 2 and 3. And to add to the complexity, we've also got tension in these 3 wheels which keeps them in contact with the roller coaster car. You'll also notice that if I apply any kind of pressure at all, the whole roller coaster makes horrible noises. All 3 of these wheels work in exactly the same way. They're all powered by their chain and they all have multiple moving parts. And if any of those moving parts are tightened too tight, it will break your roller coaster. This usually happens when the chain snaps, and then you've got the joy of rethreading the chain. After powering the mechanism at the top, the chain then disappears down the hill to start over. This is another potential point of failure. It's really important to ensure the chain that comes out of the bottom of the gearbox is held at the right angle. This means having the chain at just the right level of tension. If you don't, the chain will slip, the cars will bounce about, and it'll all end badly. If you enjoy counting and assembling chain links, this is definitely the set for you. LEGO recommend that you use 203 chain links to make the main chain. And they also put some extras in the bag, so you definitely are going to have to count them. But to cut a long story short, I found those 203 links too many. The chain was too slack and it didn't run smoothly. After a few hours of troubleshooting, slacking off gears, and shortening the chain, I got this thing running smoothly. The final important piece of the drive mechanism is at the bottom of the hill, and this also has some very interesting mechanics. What you see here is the return mechanism for the chain at the bottom of the hill. You'll also notice here that we've got a sprung cam which is holding tension in the chain. This is really important for the mechanism at the top of the hill because it keeps the chain in contact with the gear that powers all of those 3 wheels. Excusing the shaky camera work, there are 2 ways of getting power into this thing. We can either use the hand crank to transfer energy through these drive shafts and into the main gearbox, or for even more fun, you can hook up an 8883 medium motor and battery box for about $20. This will drive the chain for you and enable the roller coaster to run continuously until the batteries run out of power or you get bored. The LEGO Creator Expert roller coaster comes complete with 2 roller coaster cars, but if you time it really well you can add additional cars. I'm using the car from the Pirate roller coaster and the car from the Joker Manor. And as you can see, this is a rather pleasing result. I did have to make a couple of modifications. For example, I had to take the shark head off the front of the Pirate roller coaster car, and I had to take the smile off the front of the roller coaster car from the Joker Manor. These were both getting stuck on the wheels at the top of the hill, which was having dramatic consequences. And with 3 extra cars riding the roller coaster, it made room for a number of new friends. If you recognise any of these guys, feel free to give them a shout out in the comments below. There's no doubt this is a very impressive set. It's a mechanical masterpiece made of Lego, and it's sure to impress even the most hard to impress people. It's also huge. It's over 20 inches high, 34 inches wide and 16 inches deep. And if you need any help visualising that, here's the Hulkbuster Ultron edition. We've seen how this works, we've had a bit of fun with the cars. Let's take a look at what else this set has to offer. Over in the corner underneath the shade of a tree, we've got our grandfather and his granddaughter, who you might remember earlier was too short to go on the roller coaster ride. They just got a sweet treat from this cute little cotton candy cart. Here's a closer look at the cotton candy stand, which complements this set perfectly. We've got some really nice graphic design for the sign, and cotton candy made from those new beehive elements. This is the first time I've seen them in pink. Taking a closer look, you can see the beehive element is mounted upside down, and then there's something on top to complete the effect. This is actually a pink minifigure head, which is just awesome. I really like the way they've put this together. And then we've got a blue connector on there. So really innovative way to build cotton candy out of Lego. I'm also a really big fan of that transparent pink parasol, and the cotton candy spinning machine with 2 pink elements in there, and the transparent lid. All things considered, this is a really nice micro build that complements the set perfectly. There's a convenient park bench so that Grandad can have a rest while his granddaughter studies the amusement park map. Hopefully she'll find something more suitable to take a ride on. There's another nice feature hidden away at the back, featuring a marshy pond complete with pondweed and a frog. This is such a simple construction, but really adds to the charm of the set. In fact, there is a lot of green space underneath the roller coaster where you could really go to town with your imagination and add a lot of landscaping. Nothing's free at the Legoland theme park, and if you want to ride the roller coaster, you're going to need to buy a ticket. This is going to cost you $100 or kroner or euros or whatever minifigures spend. Removing the ticket booth from the build makes it a lot easier to film. And this is a really nicely designed little ticket booth. We even get a ride employee to take the money and hand out tickets. We'll take a look at him and the other minifigures a little bit later in the video. He's got a printed calculator piece to help him with the math, and of course a supply of money and tickets. Speaking of tickets, that's exactly what it says on the sign on the top of the booth. This is a stickered piece and got me wondering whether Lego actually regionalised these. For example, when they sell these sets in China, do they have a Chinese sticker? I have no idea, but that would definitely make it a lot more expensive for the serious Lego collector. Another feature I really like about the ticket booth are these green and yellow lights. They just add so much colour to the set. To make his life a little bit more comfortable, our ticket booth worker gets his own revolving chair, and Lego have used a pair of car doors on each side to enable the worker to get in and out. This also marks the point at which the queue line starts. Perhaps I ought to have added a couple of hundred minifigures standing in line just to add to the realism. The queue line is pretty hidden away, but nonetheless Lego have added a lot of detail here. We've got flowers dotted about the place, and even a cute little water feature with a very unusual gold element in the middle. Because queuing is thirsty work and it takes forever, we've got a little juice stand set up in the queue line. I really like this juice stand. It's so bright and colourful, and the colours really complement the citrus beverages that it's selling. There's some really nice artwork in the stickered sign, and those new style leaves work really well for the citrus fruits for the sign on the top. We've got a minifigure worker ready to juice up a fresh batch, and the blender's all ready to go with some fruit already in there. But one of my favourite parts about this build has to be the lemon and white alternating tiles around the side of the roof. It just looks so fresh and elegant. Nobody likes a queue jumper, so we've got a barrier to make sure that doesn't happen. I really like the way LEGO have used the spectacles element from the Go Brick Me set for this. As we get closer towards the ride, it gets more and more difficult to see what's going on, but we do have steps leading up to the platform and steps leading down from the platform. And that brings us to the boarding station where riders get on and off the roller coaster cars. Here we have safety barriers to keep the riders safe until it's time to get onto the car, and a number of warning signs, so I guess it's no photography, no drinking, no eating, no babies, and no dogs. I hope I didn't break any rules by letting baby Groot ride the roller coaster earlier. Did you see him? If anybody was planning to take food on the roller coaster, I think they'd better watch out for this hungry seagull. If anybody made it past the measure up height marker, they're probably still not going to make it onto the train. There's another height measuring marker for the attendants to use in the boarding station. Like any modern roller coaster, this one is controlled mostly by computers, although that doesn't seem to stop mine crashing horribly from time to time. Yes, while filming this video I had a horrible accident which involved one of the cars hanging over the edge of the big hill, and I don't think Tinkerbell's ever going to be the same again. Like any good roller coaster ride, there's a booth on the way out where you can buy your ride photos. You might remember this guy selling tickets a few moments ago. We've got another stickered sign letting people know that they can buy their photos here. And he already has some photos printed off featuring the minifigures you saw on the ride. Interestingly, although their faces are the same, they seem to have changed outfits since they went on the ride. One unlucky rider ignored the warning about food and ended up getting attacked by the seagull. And it looks like Grandad even got to have a ride on the coaster. Another couple of really cool things I wanted to show you are the lost baseball cap underneath the tracks, and the epic brick-built coaster sign. No stickers here, but we do have some roller skates representing the cars of the coaster. This is not the first time we've seen this technique. We also got letters on the Dyna Modular building and on the Joker Manor. So we've seen about everything the coaster has to offer, but before we wrap up, let's take a look at those 11 minifigures. It's not unreasonable to expect a nearly $400 LEGO set to come with an impressive lineup of minifigures, and in this case I'm really not disappointed. We've got 11 minifigures with this set, which is more than enough to fill all of the roller coaster cars and give us sufficient staff to run the rides and the concession stands. I know we've got a lot of minifigures to cover here, but let's take a real quick close-up look at each one. Starting with our theme park employees, here's the guy from the ticket and photo booth. He's wearing these plain blue pants and he's got a LEGO uniform on. If we turn him over, he's got the LEGO symbol on the back of his shirt, and that is the same torso piece they had in the Minifigure factory, which was a set I reviewed a little while ago. Really nice print, a little bit of metallic detail there for the pen in the pocket, and yeah, very nice, very serious face there. There is no alternate expression on this guy, and he's wearing a nice brown hairpiece. Speaking of haircuts, here's his female colleague who helps riders get on and off the ride. She's got one of the really cool jobs, and she's got awesome hair. I really like this brown kind of wavy hair that goes halfway down her back. That's just super. She's wearing exactly the same uniform as her colleague, and she's got her cool shades on. That is actually an alternate expression, and if we turn her over, we've got the same expression there. Very similar without those sunglasses, but I actually like her with those sunglasses on, and that's how she's going to stay. Here's our cotton candy seller, and I've got a feeling her torso has been reused from another set. If you look very closely at the printing, you're going to see a supermarket shopping basket on there. Now, clearly she's not working in a supermarket here, but it's I guess it's kind of cool that LEGO are reusing these torsos. Really nice printing on there. We've got a name badge, a little cravat tie, and yeah, some buttons down the front there, and then this kind of hooped pink and green design which continues around the back. We've got plain light blue pants on there, and then this awesome blonde bobbed haircut which looks great. Really nice expression there, big smile for the service industry, and that is our awesome cotton candy seller. Sticking with the theme of light blue pants, we've got our worker from the juice stall. She's wearing this fantastic pink and dark pink hooped top here with a tie around the back. Really nice printing that, and she's got this flower necklace on as well. She's got a really nice white haircut, love the waves on that and the shoulder length hair, and then a very nice expression there with the freckles and the glasses. She does have an alternate expression. Very slightly different with the eyebrows raised, but actually not very different to the one on the front, and that's our juice seller. Incidentally, that torso piece also appears in the LEGO Creator 3-in-1 Pirate roller coaster. Next we get to our roller coaster riders, and this is where the really fun expressions start to kick in. We've got these purple pants on here, and then this really nicely designed hoodie there with the kind of floral scroll work on there. Hoodie on the back there, and then this really kind of terrified expression there on the face. We do have an alternate expression, and her look goes from terrified to I'm feeling a little bit sick or nervous. And yeah, really nice minifigure, great kind of reddish brown hair there, and that's the first of our riders. This guy's the Iceman, and he's not at all afraid of the roller coaster. He's wearing these white pants, which is definitely not a good idea to wear if you're afraid of roller coasters, and a really nice torso print here with some metallic printing on the front there for the zipper, and this green shirt underneath. And it is a hoodie, you can see by the printing on the back. He is wearing these kind of mirrored shades, which makes him look very cool, and a really nice hairpiece here. We don't have an alternate expression, but that is our Iceman rider. There's another girl riding the roller coaster, and she is having a great time. Just look at that smile. Really plain pants on here like most of the characters, but we've got a printed torso there. I think that's meant to be red and white, that t-shirt underneath there, but the white doesn't really come out very well on this minifigure. As I said, really nice facial expression. We have seen this before, and I'm going to refer you back to the lady from the Pirate roller coaster. She's got exactly the same facial print. Now, just flipping her over, we've got a very different expression there. She looks like she's actually falling asleep, but I definitely prefer this one. A little bit of printing on the back there. We've got the belt for the jacket, and yeah, nice minifigure. Here's another guy that seems to be having a good time. He's wearing these plain reddish brown pants, and then he's got a grey hoodie on over a dark red top. Some more printing around the back there. You can clearly see the hood. Very nice hair piece here, and a big smile, but that is about to change because that is just a fantastic facial expression. He's got that kind of puckered mouth there, and he's trying to hold in his vomit. Oh, that's terrible. That really does turn my stomach even to think about it. But yeah, really good facial expression that for a roller coaster, and I wouldn't like to be the guy sitting in the car behind him. This guy looks a little bit nervous, but I do really like his outfit. He's wearing these plain dark blue pants and then this kind of retro Lego spaceman top. I have seen this before. This was actually one of the torsos from the Fun at the Park set, and that's one of my favorites. I think that's really nice. We've got some detailing on the back there, not a lot of printing, mainly a white torso with these red arms, and then this kind of nervous expression and very short black hair. Yes, it's black hair, yeah. You can't always see looking through the viewfinder of a camera. Around the back, he's looking a little bit happier. Really nice minifigure, and I really do like that torso piece. I'd definitely be using that again. Here's Grandad, and he's got a great taste in sweaters. In fact, I've definitely seen this before, and that sweater is also worn by Anton, the guy who runs the bait shop, the Lego Ideas set. So really nice torso piece there. Let's turn it over. Yeah, very similar printing on the back there with the kind of, I guess you'd call this cable knit. He's got these grey blue pants on, and then, yeah, a slightly weather-aged face there. Nice smile, slightly receding grey hair here. But if we turn him over, that has to be a new expression. We've got a terrified face. I don't know when Grandad managed to get on the roller coaster, but clearly he doesn't like it. Awesome minifigure, and that just leaves us with his granddaughter. Here she is. She's the only child minifigure in this set, and she just wasn't tall enough to get on the roller coaster, which is probably good because she can't sit down with these tiny legs. Really nice torso printed piece here. Definitely seen that before in other sets. I guess that's apples and limes maybe, but really nice printing. Yeah, I love that torso piece. Very cute face there, and if I take off that hair, you can actually see the disappointment. You can see her heart breaking as she realizes she's too small to go on the roller coaster. But really nice child minifigure, like the kind of black hair here, and yeah, very cute. So that was set number 10261, Roller Coaster from Lego Creator Expert. This is an absolutely epic set, and I strongly recommend that you motorize this. It's just so cool. The main downside is the cost. This thing is a lot of money. But if you've got the space to display it, it makes an absolutely epic centerpiece for your Lego city. I've already seen a video circulating online of somebody who's put 3 of these sets together and added a loop-the-loop. Frankly, I don't have the time or the skill to do that, but I do like this set for what it is. If $400 puts this out of your price range, you could always check out the Pirate roller coaster from LEGO Creator 3-in-1. I reviewed that a few days ago and it's an awesome set. Sure, you don't get to spend hours trying to get the mechanism working, it's very simple and you just push the cars around. But as a much more budget-friendly introduction to LEGO roller coasters, that's a very good one to go out and buy. Although this one was very expensive, it's pretty much par for the course with the amount of elements and the complexity of the build. And I've got to take my hat off to LEGO for including 11 minifigures. It was a good lineup. So in summary, I really like this set. It definitely has some shortfalls with the mechanics, but once you get those running smoothly, it's an absolute joy to own. The only thing I don't really like about this set is the mechanism at the top of the hill. I think it's a real shame that LEGO couldn't design that track at the top of the hill to use the abundant force of gravity. Above all, I really hope you enjoyed this LEGO Creator Expert roller coaster unboxing, speed build and review video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like down below and subscribe for more awesome LEGO content. Also be sure to check out my review of the Pirate roller coaster. This has been an epic journey and now I need to go integrate this huge roller coaster into my LEGO city. So all that remains is for me to say thanks a million for checking out today's review, stay safe and we'll see you on the next build video.